Hey, name's Mick Dodge here, trying to help you learn how to set anchors. Setting anchors can be difficult.
Ah! Why? I need some help.
Someone told me you're going to Sandrock. Is that correct? Okay, less sarcasm. Let's move on. Now, at Sandrock, the most accessible wall for top rope climbing is the top rope wall. All you need to do is walk up the backside and you'll see those bolts, cha-ching, and those hangers up there waiting for you to use. The most important thing to remember is to make sure you have the right equipment. So, for a single top rope, what you'll need is at least 4 screw gate carabiners and a 90-foot rope. But also, don't forget to bring a towel. The first thing to remember when you're on top of the rock is to make sure that you're safe. So, in this situation, I don't actually have access to hangers. So, as you can see, we're going to pretend. So I've got pretend one hanger here in which the carabiner is clipped into, and then pretend hanger 2 right here where the second carabiner is clipped into. Now, when you're on top of the rock, you're going to do what's called an AMGA knot. So what you're going to do is you're going to take one end of the rope, which is on top of your pile. You're going to loop that around twice. That is once, twice, and then you're going to stick it back through itself. Okay? Now, once you've done that, you want to measure the distance to where you put the main knot at, which is called your BHK. We'll get to that later. So, pretending that I'm on top of a cliff right now, and my climbers are going to be down there, I assess the situation and say that's where the knot's going to be, so I just pull out 2 arm lengths. So I take 2 arm lengths and I say, rope, and I toss it out. Now, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to do a double figure 8. So, I'll take a bite of rope, pull out some slack, make a loop like so, and just do a normal figure 8 like you would try to tie in. And all of you facilitators should know that. So, like so. And then you just want to dress it. And so this is a little bit too long. So I'm just going to move that in some. And then slide this down. Like so. So we have our figure 8. Now what I'm going to do is clip this into the carabiner that's on the pretend hanger. Once I've clipped that in, I can go ahead and screw that down. Make sure that's in. I am Mick Dodge. Now that we've got the distance measured, what we're going to do is we're going to do a bow line to clip into the other hanger. You can do figure 8, but we're going to do a bow line. So I'll take another bite of rope on the same line, and I'll just do simple follow through, and then pull this line through, and what do you know? We have a beautiful bow line that now will clip into our other carabiner, which is clipped into the other hanger. I'll make sure that's nice and screwed down, and I hear a clicky click. That means it's good. Now, make sure that both of the gates of these carabiners are facing opposite directions. This looks good. They could also be facing this way, which is perfectly fine. Mick Dodge here again. Listen, once we've got one line set up with a figure 8 and the other line set up with a bow line, we'll take the 2 middle lines, which as you can see, make a U. Now, with these 2 middle lines, this is going to be our master point. We're going to do what's called a BHK. So, I'm going to make sure that it's nice and equalized and even. So, I'm not going to pull it all the way over this way and do my knot because it's going to be loose on one side. You want to make sure it's pulling straight down. So, what I'll do is I'll grab here and make sure that these lines are all nice and even. As you can see, that looks pretty good. And then I'll do another bite right here, pull some of that slack out, and I want to make sure that I put this finishing knot over the wall. So this is called our BHK. It stands for Big Hunkin' Knot, which is different than a BFK. Once we do that knot, here's what we're going to do next. You can see we have this extra line here. That's perfectly fine. You might want to make it smaller, but this is fine for now. So we can take this and just bring this over top the whole knot, and that right there is going to be our master point. And as you can see, it's pulling straight down in the direction that I want it to be. So now, I'll take my other two lockers, clip it in right there, and make sure they're facing opposite directions, like so.